Welcome to the Stock Guy Analysis. Let's talk about what happens when a publicly traded company decides to go ally, and I mean aligning on a single cryptocurrency. Today we are diving deep into the absolutely wild story of one company that made one of the biggest, boldest bets in the history of crypto. And really this whole insane story, it all starts with just one number. A number that puts everything into perspective. 2.9%. Now, I know what you're thinking. That doesn't sound like a world-changing number, right? But trust me, what this number represents is, well, it's completely staggering. Yeah, you heard that right. That is the percentage of the entire supply of Ethereum that is now sitting on the balance sheet of one single company. So, the question is, how in the world did we get here? Okay, let's unpack this. All right, so the company at the center of all this is called BitMIne's Immersion Technologies, ticker BMNR. And these guys have pivoted hard. They've gone from just mining crypto to becoming this aggressive accumulator, building a treasury that is just epic in scale. The latest numbers show their total war chest, we're talking crypto, cash, and some speculative moonshots, has just exploded to $13.2 billion. But you know the real story, the juicy part is in the details of what makes up that number. Okay, so let's break this down because this is where it gets really crazy. This is the exact opposite of diversification. Look at that. Over $12.7 billion of their treasury is in Ethereum. That's more than 3.5 million ETH. I mean, their Bitcoin holdings are barely a rounding error in comparison. And on top of that, they've got a really solid cash position, almost $400 million bucks, completely unencumbered, which means it's ready to be deployed. Plus a little speculative bet they're calling a moonshot. Now, here's the key thing. They didn't just stumble into this. They've been buying and buying aggressively. Their average cost is right around $4,000 per ETH. So, with the crypto market taking a breather lately, they're actually sitting on a small, unrealized loss right now. But, man, they're clearly not here for a quick flip. This is a long-term play. So, what does Wall Street do when a company makes a bet this huge on a single crypto? Well, the reaction has been, let's say, a mix of pure rocket fuel and some serious turbulence. I mean, just look at this. Year to date, the stock is up over 450%. The market has absolutely rewarded this high-conviction strategy with a monster rally. Investors are clearly excited, but this is a huge, but that rocket ride is a bumpy one. This slide tells the other side of the story perfectly. The stock has swung from a low of just over $3 to a high of $161 all within the last year. This is not, and I repeat, not a stock for the faint of heart. And all that volatility, it means one thing. People are trading the heck out of this stock. BMNR is the 48th most actively traded stock in the entire US, sandwiched right between massive established tech giants. So no, this isn't some forgotten penny stock. This thing has the market's full undivided attention. It's not just retail traders, clicking away in their basement. We're seeing some serious institutional validation. You've got well-known tech investor Kathy Wood buying over $15 million worth of BMNR for her ARK funds. That's a pretty big vote of confidence. So, all this excitement, where is it headed? Well, it's building up into a really powerful bull case. Traders are dreaming big. We're talking price targets of $200 a share. So what gets it there? The bulls believe a perfect storm might just be brewing on the horizon. So, here's the roadmap. According to the bulls, Step 1, friendly crypto regulation finally gets passed in the US. Step 2, the Fed pivots and starts pumping money back into the system. Step 3, maybe we see some kind of consumer stimulus check hit people's bank accounts. Now, the theory is all of that new liquidity pushes Ethereum's price way up toward a target of $10,000. And if that happens, BitMIne's net asset value, basically the value of all that Ether holding, would just explode, sending the stock price flying past that $200 mark. Of course, not everyone's waiting for that entire perfect storm to line up. The chatter on the ground, on platforms like X is way more immediate. As this one user puts it, if ETH just gets back to 4,000 bucks, that could send BMNR to $70 a share. Quote, easy. Okay, let's take a breath before we all get carried away planning our retirements. It is absolutely essential that we ground this whole conversation in reality, because for every bull dreaming of $200, there's a bear pointing out some very, very real risks. So, let's put the hype right next to the reality, shall we? On the one hand, the hype is real. Biggest public ETH treasury, incredible crypto exposure, massive price targets. But the reality, the stock is insanely volatile. They're technically in the red on their investment right now. And you have to hear this. This entire multi-billion-dollar operation is apparently run by just 7 employees. 7. That is about as lean as it gets. And it's not just us being cautious. You got mainstream commentators like Jim Cramer weighing in, basically warning people about these kinds of crypto stocks. He suggested that if you want exposure, hey, maybe you're better off just buying Bitcoin yourself instead of betting on a company that holds it for you. Okay, so with all the hype and all the risk, why does this one company's story matter so much? Well, because what BitMine is doing here, it could be a radical new playbook for how corporations handle their money. It really boils down to 3 big things. First, BMNR has basically become a proxy for ETH. It gives anyone with a regular brokerage account a way to bet on Ethereum. Second, that huge pile of cash gives them incredible flexibility to do, well, whatever they want next. And third, this stock is fast becoming a bellwether for the entire crypto market. It's an indicator that Wall Street is now watching very closely, which really leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Is this a brilliant, pioneering new strategy for corporate treasuries, a new playbook for the 21st century, or is BitMine just the biggest, most high-stakes gambler at the global crypto casino? The truth is we don't know the answer yet. But what is clear is that this is one story you're going to want to keep your eyes on. It's a massive experiment playing out live for all of us to see. So stay tuned, because the next update, well, it could change the entire game.